Hi guys, welcome back to Creating and Depressed with me and Lil Mario. Today we're going to do a topic that recently I've been having a hard time with, honestly, and it's called racing thoughts. So, some people might only think of racing thoughts as something that you struggle with before bedtime because that is like a symptom of depression that doctors use or psychologists, therapists, that they'll use, oh, do you have racing thoughts before bed, yes or no? It's like on the checklist. But personally, I struggle with racing thoughts all during the day, especially when I'm kind of in a moment of doubt or something like that. I mean, another way to think of racing thoughts is just fears, doubts, constant negativity. It's just like that loop in your mind that will not stop no matter what you do. How can we get out of that loop? You might have heard of this before. I actually saw it as a meme on the internet. If anyone suffers from panic attacks or anxiety attacks, there's a method called grounding to kind of get you centered again. And the method is using your 5 senses. So if you're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack, you just breathe and you list out in your head 5 things you can see, 4 things in your touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Something like that. But basically it's called grounding because you're using reality to get back to reality. You're using facts. You're using real things to come back into reality. And as much as I hate to say this because I suffer with racing thoughts are not always reality. It's a story of reality that our mind is telling us, such as, we screwed this whole thing up, this person doesn't like us. Whatever it is, we're making the story up in our head and it's actually not reality of the situation. It doesn't hurt to literally just sit down and write out the facts. Write down the facts of the situation. So let's say you're freaking out because something went wrong at work and now everyone hates you and how could you do that and you're going to get fired. Back up, back up, back up. Did anyone actually say your job's in jeopardy? Did anyone actually say, I hate you? And I know that's hard to hear because you're like, well, that's what I'm hearing in my head, and I totally get that. In the thinking of grounding, let's write down what really happened. I made this mistake. I was called into the office. The manager asked me to be more diligent next time. Whatever it is, write down the facts of the situation. And when you look at the facts, no one said my job's in jeopardy. No one said they hate me. No one said I screwed everything up. No one said that, except you. So racing thoughts, I think they stem back to us and the stories that we tell ourselves, and I think by grounding or just writing down what's real can super help us. Today, for the question of the day, I want to talk about decision making because I think this is linked to racing thoughts because I know when I can't make a decision, that's also when my thoughts begin to race. It's like connected. In a book that I'm still reading, which I told you like 7 videos ago, but I'm still reading it, called Start Right Where You Are by Sam Bennett. In this book, Sam says to make a decision, we should make a pros and cons list. Not groundbreaking, I know. But this next part actually super did help me. She was like, you should give point amountage to each thing on your list. So a point amountage from 1 through 10, like of importance to you. So if you're making a decision, I feel like pros and cons lists, usually like, well, which side is longer? And then you just kind of go with that. But that never really sells me on it either. In the back of my head, I'm still like, am I making the right choice? Like, I don't know. So with this point system, you're kind of valuing everything. So maybe the con side is way longer, but maybe everything on the con side is only worth 1 in importance to you, and they're easy things you could get over. Whereas the pro side, there's 4 pros, but they all have 8 points each. So now it's like 32 points against 10. Like, obviously the pros are going to win, even though the list is technically shorter. So that's one way to help decision making, I think. It's, again, kind of going back to grounding because you're writing things down, you're writing down facts, you're not kind of pulling opinions and making up stories. Another mindset that really helped me with making decisions that my Buddhism professor shared with me is literally just make a decision. And I know you're like, well, duh. But the reason that I say this is because I didn't realize like how much time is wasted living in the limbo of like, what's my decision? And that makes the racing thoughts, and you're just like making yourself suffer so much more. Literally make a decision and commit. Go with it. Because you're just wasting time otherwise. So one decision I always have trouble making with managing my time is like, should I use this time to rest or should I use this time to get work done? Like, let's say I have a half hour in my day. Like, what should I do? And instead, what do I spend the half hour doing? wondering what I should be doing, and I'm like, well, if I rested, then I'm being lazy, but I really don't have the energy to do this right now. So what am I doing instead? Using all of my energy incorrectly, and now I've done nothing productive, because rest actually is super productive. Our minds literally never stop working. So rest is super productive. So never downplay that in the decision. And if you need rest and your decision is work or rest, just commit to one and be like, okay, I'm going to rest. And then guess what? You can have actually restful 30 minutes rather than a stressed out, like in limbo 30 minutes. This has been Racing Thoughts, and I don't remember. Alright guys, thank you for joining me today on Racing Thoughts and Decision Making. Share this video on Facebook, share with your friends. Don't forget to send in those awesome questions and topics of discussion. And if you're just watching this video isolated and you're like, wow, that was cool, scroll through my other videos over there maybe. Please like, comment, and subscribe. My goal, this is such a small, silly goal, but my goal is to get 100 subscribers to start, because once I have 100 subscribers, I can literally name my channel, and my channel won't be like /JQ R23 =, blah blah blah. Like, I can have a real channel name, and that would be really cool. So help me get to 100 subscribers. Click somewhere down there. I'm gonna guess over here. Thanks for watching. Mwah!